Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
Hello viewers, you are welcome to another exciting edition of Money Radio on Leadership Podcast. My name is Bayo Amodu. On Money Radio, we discuss issues that have to do with the business cycles of Nigeria and also some trending business issues around the world. I have with me, as usual, our ever reliable ICT expert, Hanel Jafari. Hanel, you're welcome to the
Thank
program.
you very much.
Yeah, on the program today, we'll be discussing a latest malware that is affecting, it could affect your phone, it will affect my phone, and this malware is actually called Flubot. It was discovered in December 2020 and is wreaking havoc all over the world. So we are talking about this malware, what is going to be the effect, how exposed could you be to this malware and what you should do. And I know that with the advent of technology and also with innovations and all that, hackers too are thinking, hackers are working. Now tell us about Flubot. What is Flubot?
Well, before I even go into Flubot, research has shown that it is bad technology that reveals good technology. Good technologies comes as a result of counter to bad technology, not the other way around. Yet, so there is high growth even in bad technology, and that what I mean by bad technology, I mean technology that these hackers guys makes use of, compared to the regular technology that we use to counter them. Yeah, that's one. But Flubot, it's a trending malware. It's a malware that attacks mobile phones. Specifically, for now, it affects Android based mobile phones. So any phone that is Android based has the tendency of being infected by Flubot.
So how exposed are we to the attacks of Flubot? Is it that when you buy your phone, there's tendency that you can be exposed, or you must do something before you be exposed?
Yes, Flubot, the way Flubot operates is that it makes use of social engineering techniques. So it sends SMS to targets.
Okay.
So the target is the SMS is usually in line with what the target may want. It can come in form of the target receiving an SMS telling him that a product that you order on Jumia or a product that you order on Konga, you can track it via this tracking number. So when you click on the link there, it takes you to a page where you will download an application related to that tracking that you can use to track that your parcel that is not yours. So once
but wait there, Anel, if you are not expecting a parcel and you get an SMS that you must follow the link, so why should you?
Well, yeah, that is just one. I just use that as an example because there are other techniques they make use of. You can receive a notification telling you that your phone is exposed, is infected with the malware. Meanwhile, your phone is not yet infected. So they'll tell you that for you to cleanse your phone, there's this application called Malware Cleaner. So download it, install it to clean your phone from the malware. Meanwhile, downloading and installing it would mean that you are infecting your phone. You get, so it's just about the tactics and the techniques that they make use of. If you are not expecting a parcel, that really would not work for those, especially for Nigerians. But in the area of you, when you receive a notification telling you that your phone is infected, most Nigerians will fall victim to that kind of techniques or that content of SMS. So once you install the phone, now clicking the link does not infect your phone. Your phone is infected once the application is installed on your phone. That is when your phone is infected. However, that's based on the version that is available now, because since this malware was discovered late December 2020 last year, they've been upgrading it. I mean, the actors have been updating it. They have been bringing new versions, and new versions are coming forth with new features. That the malware now is coming forth with new features and all that. So, as it stands, until you install. That's when your phone would be infected. But there is every tendency that new version of the malware will come forth that you don't need to install for your phone to be infected. But for now, installation makes your phone to be infected based on the social engineering tactics that they've played, they've used on their target users.
So where did it originate from?
It was first discovered in Spain. And it grew to over 10 different countries in Europe. But at the moment, it is trending in New Zealand and Australia.
Okay.
And there are cases that have been reported in the US and Western, South and North America. Yeah. So, but for now, Africa, we're just trying to create that awareness that there is this kind of malware, and we should be vigilant.
How prevalent is it in Nigeria now?
Well, Nigeria, I doubt if the computer emergency response team has raised the concern of any case. But as long as it is digital, it may have affected persons that they've not reported. So we can't rule out the possibility of us not having a case until probably the SAT NG does that.
But really, apart from Flubot, we're still talking about Flubot malware. I know that before this, there were other ones, that are also dangerous to our computers. Now, whose responsibility is it in Nigeria to educate phone users on how to be careful with things like this?
It's when it has to do with cybersecurity awareness, all parties are involved.
Okay.
We can't leave it to one party.
Okay.
Yeah, the banking sector would educate you from the banking aspect.
Okay.
The telecoms will educate you from the telecom aspect.
Okay.
There are general knowledge that you need to get, and SAT NG are saddled with that responsibility to educate Nigerians. Even National Orientation Agency, they are also, you can't leave it to one party, because as long as cybersecurity awareness is concerned, it's not something you finish. It's not a knowledge you can exhaust, because this field of insecurity is so dynamic that what they use on you today or yesterday will be different from what they will use on you today.
Okay.
So it means that yesterday's knowledge is outdated. You have to get to this knowledge, and how you get it is by getting that level of awareness.
So who should educate
everybody? Corporate organizations have to educate the employees that are within the organization. Some industries need to ensure that they educate users that are mainly in that industry, like the financial industry. They should educate the banks, and also users of banks. Then the telecoms industry should educate users of telecoms, because even this issue of Flubot, it was raised by NCC. It was NCC that initiated the alarm, that raised the alarm in Nigeria. But it has no direct impact on NCC, because it is a banking Trojan. What it does is that it tends to it manipulate. Once a device is infected, what it does is that if you have a bank app on that phone, it will pop up a login screen of that bank app unknown to you, thinking that it is your own bank app. Thinking that it is your own bank app, you would log in to that login screen, unknown to you that login screen is a login screen that has been popped up by the malware, and that will enable the malware to capture your credential, your login details, both your username and password for your bank application. So with that, they will be able to log into your internet banking application, and they can now invariably do transfer. Now, that is just one of it, because this malware also allows having a phone that is infected with this malware. It will enable the malware to be able to capture SMS that are coming into the phone. It will read all the SMS coming into the phone, and it's able to send SMS, because it is designed. The malware is designed in a way to spread by its own.
Okay. It
spreads by SMS. So if it infects a mobile phone, it will use that mobile phone to send SMS to other targets. thereby making other targets thereby initiating the process of infection on other targets. So, and once other targets who are infected, it used their phone to send SMS to other targets, and that's how it spread. Notwithstanding, it can also spread via peer-to-peer network like WhatsApp messengers, Facebook Messenger, and the likes. But the major form of spreading, as designed, is via SMS. And once in the effect, another danger of it infecting a phone is that it has the ability to run USSD code. And we know Nigerians generally we rely on USSD code for transfers, and that means if we have a bank that really does not have PIN and we just rely on certain credentials to carry out USSD, it means that once a phone is infected, the SIM on that phone can be used to initiate USSD transfer. And because it has the ability to capture your SMS, once OTP is coming into the phone, it will read it and impute it and carry out phone transfer.
Quite interesting. But really, apart from, like I said, that Flubot, is like we rightly describe it, is an high risk malware.
Mm-hmm.
How safe is the process of downloading applications to your phones? Apart from malware, these are the days of a lot of apps and people coming up with innovations. Some are good, but because of this bad technology, can you tell us how safe?
Well, there are process and procedures that makes you download applications safely, and one of it is by using the right channel to download your applications.
What are the right channels?
Now, for Android phones, you should not download outside Play Store, because Play Store has a security integrated into it called Play Protect, and with Play Protect, it scans every application that is installed on your phone. Now, if this Flubot, once it infects a phone, it disables the Play Protect. So it won't be able to carry out that security feature of scanning the application to know if the application that is installed is bad or good. But the Play Protect is a security feature on Play Store that helps it identify applications that are malware.
Okay. Recently the Central Bank of Nigeria introduced e-Naira, and within 24 hours we had the news of so many fake ones, and they had issue with one of their apps, which was deleted, and later it was restored.
Yeah.
Now, I was wondering that, if in a situation like that, you have something on Play Store, and some other fake ones are coming, will they come through other, sites, or through other platforms, or, I just don't understand.
They can come. There are other platforms that enables you to download Android applications that are not Play Store.
Okay, so are they reliable?
Google will tell you don't download any application that is not from Play Store, because Play Store has security in place. But those applications, they don't have security in place. Okay. So you can, because before you upload any application on Play Store, they will have to review the code. They will do certain security checks. They will do the signing and all that. Some of these applications don't meet that requirement, and by not meeting the requirement, it would mean that the application will not be on Play Store. Okay. So what the owners of the application would do is that they would move that application to other platforms that users makes use of, and from those platforms you can also get the application to it. You can also install the application on your phone.
Okay. Now let's go back to Flubot. Now, with the spread of Flubot don't let me limit it to Nigeria, in Africa now. What categories of phone users do you think are more exposed to falling victims?
Everybody that is using Android phone.
But they are young?
Yes, old and it really doesn't as long as, but if you want to look at it from the place of knowledge, I think younger people would be more exposed to Flubot compared to the old, because most of them really would not want to download anything that is here and all that. Yeah, but now curiosity would want to make the older ones to download, because when they find out that, when they hear that their phone is infected, they become curious, and they would want to ensure that they knock off the infection, unknown to them, but that's a strategy for the attackers to gain access to the phone.
Thank you, Aniel. We'll go for a short break now. We'll be back. Please stay tuned.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Money Radio, discussing the business of making and spending money.
Yeah, you're welcome back. It's still Money Radio on Leadership Podcast, and I have with me Aniel Jafari. We are still talking about Flubot malware, new attack against mobile phone. It's a high-risk malware, and we'll be talking about it, where it originated from, and the effect of it on phone users. Now, Aniel, let's talk about how do we prevent ourselves from being exposed to malware, Flubot. How do we prevent ourselves from falling victims?
Well, I will always say prevention is better than cure.
Okay.
We need to ensure that we have an up-to-date operating system on our Android phones.
Okay.
It will, not minding the version of the version you're using, whether you're using Android 7, Android 8, Android 9, Android 10, Android 11. It doesn't matter. Just ensure that whatever version you're using you're using the up-to-date version of it. Then we need to ensure that we don't click on anything that we see. If any link, especially links, once you receive a link and a notification telling you that your system is infected, it's best you take it to professionals to diagnose if it is truly infected before you do anything. Don't align with what the phone is telling you, but align with what a professional would tell you, because they would need to check if truly the phone is infected. Now, this thing really doesn't come only by SMS. We can receive SMS, we can receive notifications, but there are ways it can also come via email. Let me tell you about the INERA thing. If it's coming to Nigeria now, if it's coming to Nigeria, they can use the INERA as a story to sell the Flubot. That if you install the INERA application, you would have you have certain amount in your wallet, and people who really would want that kind of, they would definitely want to install so that they have free. You get, so these are the kind of things that we should look out for, especially Nigerians that we are so money. We are so conscious about getting it. So, but in a case whereby you find yourself infected, what do you do? In a case where you find yourself infected, the first thing you need to do is to shut down the phone, because this guy, once your phone is infected, there is a CNC, a command and control center, that is somewhere in the world. Your phone connects, because that's one of the things the malware does, is connect your phone to the command and control center, a server somewhere in the world, and that's where your contacts, your personal identifiable information, they are that's where they are downloaded to. You get your credentials as they are captured, everything goes to that server. So even though you turn off your phone, once that information is no longer on your phone, is now in their server, there is nothing you can do than to go to the next line of defense, which is changing your credentials. All your credentials, your Facebook credentials, your social media accounts, your internet banking credentials, every credentials that you have on the phone. Most of us used to write things on our phone notes. We have to go there. Anything that is credential on the phone notes, go to that place, change it. Once you are able to change all that, then the last line of defense is to reset the phone.
Yeah, you mentioned that when you find yourself infected, the best thing to do is do it yourself, or you get somebody who has better knowledge of it. You know, how do you ensure that you get the right person to help you out? You have given some explanation on how you can do it yourself, but it's not everybody that is so literate to do that.
Well, there are cybersecurity professionals that we can get. We can just go online and search for renowned cybersecurity professionals if you really want to contract somebody to do it for you. And from there you can get professionals that are in that line that would be willing to help you out.
Sometimes we put antivirus on our phones.
Yes, it's also a good way to detect the malware, because most antivirus upon launch of the malware, most antivirus went to analyze the malware. They've extracted the signature of the malware, and they have flagged the signature in their virus database. So if you have an antivirus on your phone, the first thing you need to do is to ensure that the antivirus is up to date, so that it will get the up-to-date signature of the malware. So once the malware comes to your phone, the antivirus will flag it and will reject it.
Thank you, Haniel. Thank you so much for coming around. Today we have actually do justice to the topic on Flubot malware, which is a new attack against mobile phones in Nigeria. All we can say is that we should just be careful. It's not just to be downloading whatever appeals to you. As a phone users, should just take some kind of a precaution and be careful about what to download on your phone, because it's not everything that is good for you. This is how we come to the end of the show today on the key segment of Morning Radio. We want to thank you, our viewers, for joining us today. My name is Bayo Amadu. Till we'll come your way next time. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.